Welcome to Dr. Dan's channel. Today, we are looking at a bold claim circulating across tech YouTube and parts of the financial press, that the AI race is effectively over, and Google has already won. Over the past few months, several explainer channels and news outlets have suggested that Google's comeback in artificial intelligence isn't just impressive, it's decisive. The argument goes like this: Gemini has caught up to, or surpassed, OpenAI's latest models. Google is building its own AI chips. Its cloud business is accelerating, and no other company matches its full-stack integration. It's a compelling story, but is it true? Today, we're not repeating that narrative. We're interrogating it. Because in technology revolutions, hype and structural advantage are not the same thing. To understand why this idea has gained traction, we need to rewind. When ChatGPT exploded in late 2022, it created the impression that Google, despite inventing the transformer architecture that underpins modern large language models, had somehow missed its own revolution. Early product missteps reinforced that perception. Bard's first demo contained factual errors. AI-generated answers in search were widely criticized. Google appeared cautious, even hesitant. Meanwhile, OpenAI captured public imagination. Nvidia became the world's most valuable company. Microsoft positioned itself as AI's enterprise gateway. The narrative solidified. Google was behind. But that narrative has shifted. Alphabet's stock rebounded strongly in 2025 amid excitement over Gemini releases and AI infrastructure expansion. Financial media began reframing the story as an inevitable comeback. And that's where the Google has won argument emerges. But let's slow down. Winning what exactly? Rather than focusing on one model release, the more serious version of the Google wins thesis looks at structure. AI isn't just chatbots. It's an industrial stack with multiple layers. 1. Chip design. 2. Data centers. 3. Foundation models. 4. Consumer and enterprise products. 5. Distribution channels. Most companies dominate one or two of these layers. Nvidia leads in AI accelerators. Microsoft dominates enterprise software and Azure cloud. OpenAI leads in consumer AI mindshare. Apple controls premium hardware distribution. Meta controls social distribution and open source models. Google is unusual because it operates across almost all layers. That's not hype. That's architecture. One major pillar of the Google wins narrative is its tensor processing units, or TPUs. Unlike Nvidia's GPUs, which are general-purpose accelerators optimized for many types of parallel computation, TPUs are specialized for tensor math, which is central to deep learning. The significance isn't that TPUs exist. They've existed for years. The significance is scale and commercialization. Recent reporting highlights major TPU deals, including expanded cloud partnerships with AI labs such as Anthropic, signaling that Google is no longer using TPUs only internally, but as competitive infrastructure. This matters because AI's bottleneck is compute. If Google can secure its own compute supply, undercut Nvidia-dependent cloud margins, attract external model builders, then its advantage compounds. However, balance is important here. Nvidia still dominates AI software ecosystems. CUDA remains deeply entrenched. Enterprise switching costs are real. Google weakening Nvidia's pricing power is plausible. Eliminating Nvidia's leadership is not. The next layer is data centers. Training and running frontier models requires enormous energy capacity, cooling infrastructure, networking bandwidth, capital expenditure. Microsoft and Amazon operate vast cloud networks, but both rely heavily on Nvidia silicon. Google's differentiation is vertical integration. It designs chips, it builds data centers, it operates the cloud, it trains models, it deploys products. That reduces supplier dependency and allows system-wide optimization. And cloud growth numbers reflect that AI demand is benefiting Google Cloud significantly. But again, this is competitive, not settled. Microsoft's Azure remains tightly integrated with OpenAI. Amazon remains dominant in raw cloud market share. The AI infrastructure race is capital-intensive and still expanding. Much of the race is over rhetoric focuses on model benchmarks, but history suggests that raw benchmark wins rarely determine platform dominance. What matters more? Integration, cost efficiency, developer ecosystem, distribution, enterprise adoption. Model leadership is dynamic. OpenAI releases GPT-5.x. Google releases Gemini updates. Anthropic iterates. Meta releases open models. Performance oscillates. The more relevant question is whether Google can embed AI deeper and faster into daily workflows than competitors. That's where its advantage becomes structural. This is arguably Google's strongest position. Google controls Search, Gmail, Docs, Sheets, Drive, Maps, YouTube, Android, Chrome. These are not niche tools. They are daily utilities for billions. If AI becomes embedded across those surfaces, adoption becomes automatic. Users do not need to download a new AI app. They encounter AI inside tools they already use. That's distribution power. OpenAI has a powerful standalone product, but Google has an ecosystem. And ecosystems are harder to displace than apps. The most underestimated advantage in technology is default behavior. Android powers billions of devices. Chrome dominates browsers globally. Search remains a primary gateway to online intent. YouTube dominates video search. If Google integrates AI deeply at the operating system and browser layer, it controls the default AI interface for vast portions of the world. That is a structural advantage that no startup can replicate. This is where we need analytical restraint. The AI race is not over. Several factors could reshape the competitive landscape. 1. Regulatory risk. Google already faces antitrust scrutiny. Aggressive AI bundling could invite intervention. 2. Business model disruption. If AI reduces traditional search advertising revenue, Google must reinvent monetization without destabilizing its core profit engine. 3. Competitive countermoves. Microsoft, OpenAI, Nvidia, Meta, Apple, none are passive players. Each controls meaningful pieces of the stack. 4. Technological shifts. If AI shifts towards smaller on-device models, open ecosystems, or entirely new paradigms, today's advantages may matter less. Where the narrative is strongest is here. Google's advantage is structural, not situational. It controls compute design, infrastructure, models, product surfaces, distribution. Few companies in technology history have had that level of vertical alignment during a platform shift. That doesn't guarantee dominance, but it does mean Google is positioned extraordinarily well. The AI race isn't over, but Google is no longer playing defense. It has assembled a full-stack position that allows it to compete simultaneously with Nvidia on chips, Microsoft on cloud, OpenAI on models, Apple on devices, Meta on consumer AI integration. And that is historically rare. The companies that win platform shifts are usually those that control multiple choke points, not just the flashiest product. Google now controls many of them. Whether it converts that into durable dominance will depend on execution, regulation, and how AI itself evolves over the next decade. But one thing is clear, the narrative that Google missed AI is no longer credible. The narrative that Google has already won is premature. The more accurate framing is this: Google has positioned itself so that no matter how the AI industry evolves, it remains central to it. And in technology, being central is often enough.
If you found this analysis useful, subscribe to Dr. Dan's channel for clear, in-depth breakdowns of the forces shaping our world. Like the video if it helped your thinking, and share it with someone.